Well, they're doing something different here with South Park. It's kind of interesting because they're insulting the people that give them a pay raise. And Paramount, even though they had it with Stephen Colbert, they have taken all the crap from the South Park guys. And now the South Park guys have done another interesting flex as well. And they said, yeah, you know how we used to create an episode for you every single week? We're not going to do that anymore.
We're tired.
I don't think they care. Dude, they troll their own fans.
Yeah, and so they've told Paramount, they're like, yeah, we're going to start giving you an episode every other week now. And so South Park is going to start going bi-weekly, which it used to be every single week. I know it was very stressful for them to do that. I saw that one documentary of how they put it together, and it was like the clock is ticking, and you've got to write everything. You have to have the concept, you have to write the lines, and then they have to do the animation for it. And so everybody's just kind of sitting there waiting, on those two guys to come up with it. Be like, all right, dude, clock's ticking.
That is tough.
And I thought they had drama with two different companies at the same time, didn't they?
They did. They did a movie, a South Park movie about it, how they were at one point streaming with 3 different platforms. They just kept signing deals. Nobody seemed to say anything. And then when they realized how much money they were making, all the companies sued them.
And then they made an episode about that.
They made a whole episode about it, making fun of all streaming services.
That's funny.
So
it's a pretty good episode, too.
Nobody's off limits, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're intentionally trying to get fired. That's why they're doing all this stuff. Because I think in their contract, they actually make more money if they get fired.
How about that? It is odd because I'm like, this is some weird behavior. First, they demand a raise, then they insult their company, and now they're saying, yeah, we're going to give you an episode every other week, not every week.
I mean, they got some balls.
I think they're doing it on purpose as strategy.
They're making fun of how goofy streaming's gone, because there was one point where their new episodes would air on one platform, but all their old episodes were on another platform, but then Comedy Central was still attached to another platform, so you had to go to 3 different apps to watch all their stuff. And so they made a whole thing making fun of that.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's not entirely clear why they made this decision, but they had an episode last night, and now episode 4 of this new season is going to be September 3rd, and episode 5 will be on the 17th. So the schedule starts effective immediately. So you can still stream them on Paramount Plus, which they don't like. If you're talking about your favorite 4 cartoons, does South Park make it in your favorite 4 for everybody here? It does me. Is it you, Denny's?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I was going to pick some counterculture choices just so we didn't have similar lineups on list. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be in my top 3 probably.
What do you think, Burrs? Does it make top 4 for you?
So I never really knew about it until Denny's introduced it to me. I obviously had heard about it, but he showed me a few episodes that I absolutely loved. But I can't say that I'm a longtime fan, so I did not put it in there. But I think they do amazing work, and how topical they are is really impressive.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, and just how they do, go after the people that they do is pretty amazing.
I respect anybody that goes after everybody. They turned on their own fans, Kevin.
It is pretty hilarious.
They don't care. They go after the red, the blue, anyone in between. They go after every single topic you're not supposed to talk about, and they do not care.
I did see they had, of course, the one thing that got news with the first episode, they'd gone after Trump in that. And reading some of the comments of people who were even fans, they said they completely laid up on Biden. They said they never went after him once. And they said that's what they thought was kind of weak.
Is that true, Denny's?
Well, so each season they pick whatever is buzzing. So they'll do, very
Well, they said that they should have done an
sometime.
episode. Remember that disastrous debate that he had? They said they should have had something on that. They didn't do anything on that.
They could have been on off season. They could have been making fun of a different angle.
Right.
I mean, there's a bunch of different things that.
So that was the one critique.
Are they a bunch of libs?
They said they don't necessarily go after everybody.
Really? So, okay, I'm a novice when it comes to South Park. I just, the stuff Denny's has shown me, I found very funny. But I would not say I know everything about South Park.
Are you a lib?
Man, I'm a Republican.
Well, when you do that, people do keep score.
Oh,
Right.
I know.
They'll
If
give you
you're
the
not
scoreboard.
going after everybody, then it is obvious what side you're on.
So I think in past seasons they've gone after the libs. I think maybe in
Right.
modern times they're kind of they pick a topic. So, I mean, they pick some pretty rough topics in the last like 3 seasons. They've picked some pretty, like, I would say, things you wouldn't normally tackle.
No, I've seen
They
them
made
go
it a
after
joke.
liberals. Absolutely. Now, it may not be recently, and it may not have been in the Biden office.
It'd be
but
a great
they have
question. If
definitely.
they did an interview, I'd like to say, be like, okay, and make sure that they did. Be like, okay, and maybe they just thought it was too low-hanging fruit. Maybe they thought it was too easy. I don't know. Maybe
No, they don't
thought
care about that. They love it low hanging
Yeah, I
fruit.
think
Yeah, then I'd like to know. Why didn't you do anything on that debate? Because there seemed like a lot of angles that you guys would have loved to have gone on.
They definitely make fun of liberal stuff. Now, whether it's they laid up on Biden, I didn't watch during
Well, and
the
also
seasons.
during that time too, they were in a legal debate. So a lot of the stuff they were releasing was just straight to movie episodes. They didn't have a contract at the time to do regular episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So they were doing these movies, these short movies. I mean, one of them was about the coronavirus. They would pick a topic like that and attack it. I think within those, they pretty much tackled everything.
And that's what's great. You do appreciate it because, yeah, they skewer all the sacred cows, and that's fun to watch. So, yeah, for me, they make my top 4, probably number 1. Honestly, if I looked at it, it's just been rock solid, I think, for 25 plus years that they've been on. The only other cartoon that you could say that with, The Simpsons, has been pretty good, but I think they've had their ups and downs a bit. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, who else has been on what? They're 30 plus years, if I remember right.
They have had a long run. Family Guy has had a
I'd
long
say
run.
Family Guy might be superior to The Simpsons.
Family Guy is vulgar. We
It
watch
is.
a lot of that in our house.
Yeah, I think Family Guy's funnier than The Simpsons.
Me
Yeah,
too.
see, I probably would like it. I just haven't seen a lot of Family Guy. I feel like if I were coming up with my favorite 4 cartoons, it should be in there. For some reason, I just haven't watched a lot of cartoons lately.
It's number 1 on Rocco's list.
It is, okay. I
hands
respect
down.
it.
The cool thing I like about Family Guy is they do make a lot of 80s and 90s references as part of their jokes. So
Okay.
if you grew up in that time era, you get a lot of the mentions in there.
Okay. Yeah, I think it would be in my top 4 if I watched it more. I threw one old school. My favorite of all time, though, has to be Scooby-Doo.
You do. We
grew
said
up
it.
on that.
I know, I was
Kevin's
like,
going to pick
It's my number 1.
Scooby-Doo.
It is my number 1.
I love some Scooby-Doo too. I was going to put it, but I was like, Kevin's going to put that on his list guaranteed.
But it's weird because I really only like that one era that they did of it. They
Yes.
did a lot. When they do the Scrappy-Doo, I'm out. And so there's a lot of the Scooby-Doos I don't like. It's just they had that one Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Those
Yep.
Scooby-Doo mysteries. That's it.
That's the best one.
There's certain shows if it's on and I see a character that they added late and I'm going, no, I'm out. I can't even watch this. I'm the same way.
Scrappy
it.
Doo.
He's terrible.
Terrible.
And I was trying to think like what would round out my final 4 of cartoons. And SpongeBob SquarePants, I recognize that. I grew up loving Looney Tunes, though. Bugs Bunny was hysterical. I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry, but I don't know if that'll get you canceled now. And then my kids actually watched some really good cartoons. The 3 that they watched that I used to like better than them, Phineas and Ferb,
Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents, and Kim Possible. I would watch that too. That was good. What would be your 4, Virginia, if you had to say your 4 favorite cartoons of all time?
Well, I'm going back to like when I watched a lot of cartoons. So most of mine are from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the Jetsons.
That's something that's in the 60s, dog.
Wow.
You old?
I loved it.
You real old?
Did you like Steamboat Mickey? Are you a big fan of that one?
She loved the Mighty Mouse.
I did love Mighty Mouse. I loved
Big Popeye fan.
Inspector Gadget,
That is solid. You're right. I'd
is
put that
good.
in there
I
too. That's
loved
good.
it.
Yep.
the Smurfs. I got down with the Smurfs.
Okay.
Strawberry Shortcake. I loved her.
Really? Okay.
And Friends.
Well, that was your girl cartoon, right?
Yeah, that was a very girl cartoon. But now I think Family Guy is the most watched thing in my house.
Okay.
So I have to give a nod to Family Guy too.
How do you round yours out, Bird?
She took my Inspector Gadget, and I'm trying to do something
good one.
different.
Yeah.
Dang it. I've got My Little Pony, So Sad and Lonely.
Okay.
Those aren't the words.
I've got Muppet Babies. I love
Dreams
Muppet
come
Babies.
true.
Love Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies will do the same for you.
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's when there's danger.
Yeah, you have an era. That seems like
I had that one written.
Yeah.
And then I got a DuckTales. A woo.
Great theme.
Dun, dun.
I didn't do G.I. Joe only because in my area growing up here in South Florida, G.I. Joe was never aired down here.
It was hard to find. Yeah, I
couldn't
remember
find.
that.
You
Yeah.
could not. I only watched G.I. Joe cartoons when I turned into my 40s.
Wow.
That's hot.
Perfect time.
It's weird. They used to have a PSA at the end where they would give a lesson.
Oh yes, kids do not do cocaine.
I don't remember that one.
And Denny's, what would you put for your favorite 4 cartoons?
Oh man, so kind of the same era that I was watching cartoons, which is probably in I'd say middle school, high school, and mine's gonna be a little more counterculture. So the first one I'm gonna throw out Futurama. I think it's one of the best cartoons ever made. It's made by the same people that made The Simpsons. I think it's like an evolved Simpsons because they could do so much more with it. This one's probably gonna lose the room, but Cowboy Bebop is probably my favorite.
The last place.
It's probably my favorite cartoon of all time.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
What was that
it's
on?
an anime. It was on I think it was like Funimation, or it was like it came out a long time ago. I think they made a live action movie of it too. I thought was super random.
Yeah, I don't get anime, but I know it's huge.
It is. The other one I'd say is the X-Men animated series. When that came out, was good. It was kind of, it added like a more mature theme to cartoons because cartoons were kind of kid-like back then.
Yeah.
So that was like the first one was like that. And if we're going with a modern one, I'd say Solar Opposites. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's made by the same people that did Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Rick and Morty had a bunch of controversy after it, so this show kind of came out and is a little bit separate from it. But
Yeah.
it is, I think, probably the funniest cartoon out currently.
You know, one cartoon that I heard did really well, it was a good one, was the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Everyone
Yeah,
loved
people
it.
did like that.
Somebody said that was actually really solid, no matter how you feel about the newer Star Wars movies.
In fact, a lot of people said, Bird, you got to watch some more of the Star Wars cartoons because they give you what you want. It's a little bit
Yeah.
more old school.
Right.
But I didn't do it.
Some of the other ones people threw at us, a little Ren and Stimpy, they thought was solid.
It's awesome.
Some people were saying they do love Cowboy Bebop. They're right there with you, Denny's.
I'd say it's probably one of the most popular. Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Your wife Jen's voting.
Yeah, she would definitely not vote for that one.
And Sean said, I can't believe nobody said Fat Albert. I love that back in the day. That
Oh,
was good.
Fat Albert was great.
You just can't say anything Cosby anymore.
I was gonna say, who's the creator of that one?
Ain't nobody want to take that
see
one on,
one now.
dog. That's why
Don't
they're
drink
gonna
the
mention.
drinks.
That's right.